our big event tonight.
The Jimmies, and we got to thank Tom. Tom came up with the name. We know there's the ESPYs out there. There's the Grammys, but now we have the Jimmies. First ever show awarding. I mean, look at this hardware.
God, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
All right, let's make sure we shout out our boy Dalton.
Yeah, Richard, just to be clear, we're going to be showing a lot of graphics tonight. And this one right here and everything else you're going to see from now until the next 5 or 6 minutes before the show is over with. Richard Dalton, West Coast, Seattle area. Had beers with him in Seattle before James and I had beers with him in Seattle before the Bengals game against Seattle here a few years ago. One of the nicest dudes you ever want to meet. And make sure you follow this guy. He does some amazing work, man. Just absolutely amazing work. And Dalton, I know you're watching right now. Our fingers are crossed. We know what we're talking about right now, brother. Good luck in everything that happens for you, buddy. But we appreciate you, man. It means a lot. You're part of the Bengals family on social media.
Unbelievable artwork. We appreciate him doing that. And in addition to that cool trophy, all of these Bengals players that are going to take home the hardware tonight get a game-used Bengal Jim sweaty hat autographed that I'm sure they're probably going to put up to their nice football. So Jamie's going to kind of lead this portion and direct us which way we're going to go. And I think, is there 6 or 7 of them, Jamie, that we're going to award tonight?
We have 6 awards. Let's start off with
the first ever inaugural
offensive MVP. Tom, you want to announce this one? I'll put it up.
Tom is on the spot. It's over here in the chat on the side. For our
my chat is blank, and I was told I was doing defense, but the Jimmy goes to Tyler Boyd. Well deserved. Gutsy, the best slot receiver in the NFL.
You know, I think what we saw was just a breakout season from Tyler Boyd. Obviously, we brought AJ back on a big contract this year. Underperformed because of injury, because of whatever. And Tyler Boyd stepped up in huge game after huge game. And I think he's well deserving. Jimmy, have anything to add?
Look, Tyler Boyd, like Tom just made it, the best slot receiver in the NFL. That guy's legit.
You know, first second round pick out of Pitt, you know, was a great compliment. And I think we just saw the breakout year, and I think we can expect even bigger things in 2021, another, year of being familiar with Joe Burrow.
Early in the year, really had chemistry with Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Jim Turner is gone, just said. But, with he and T having that kind of chemistry, it's going to help anybody else along. And if they get another super stud wide receiver, you can't cover them all.
That's right.
Now, all right, we're going to go into our next one, and I'm going to let James run with this one.
Hi, Rookie of the Year. I think if you rewind 9 months ago after we took Mr. Burrow number 1 overall, we would have said, okay, man, this is a slam dunk. Joe Burrow, probably going to lead the league. Rookies going to certainly lead the team. This is money in the bank. Obviously, it didn't happen that way. Unfortunate injury for Joe in Washington shortened his career. And instead, we had this wide receiver, 2 wide receivers with our first award. T. Higgins goes out and gets 67 receptions, ties with Bengal great Chris Collinsworth, 908 yards and 6 touchdowns. So we saw the reception in the last game. Unfortunately, T got hurt, or else he would have broke Chris Collinsworth's record. So this is obviously a no-brainer. But the one thing to keep in mind, 908 yards for T. Higgins in 2020, 123 yards short of A.J. Green's record as a rookie of 1,031 yards. But along those lines, keep in mind, T had no receptions in the first game against the Chargers, got the ball thrown to him once the last game against the Ravens. So all he had to average was, give or take, 61.5 yards those 2 games, and he would have beat A.J. Green's rookie record. So I think we're all in agreement. Tom, feel free to chime in. It was a heck of a rookie performance out of T. Higgins.
He's got all the talent in the world. He's not afraid to go over the middle. He's got great footwork. He's got Chad-like footwork on the sidelines and incredible speed down the field. So, and he really, really stepped up once Tyler Boyd was hurt. But, unfortunately, right when Joe got hurt, he was developing the same kind of chemistry with him. So,
yeah,
the sky's the limit for this guy. He's a legitimate number one.
Dude, the future is freaking bright. I'm telling you, this is exciting stuff.
All right. So what would an award be without a little bit of controversy? So we're going into our third award, which is our Hard Luck Award. And we have a tie. And we want our fans watching to tell us in the chat who should get the edge for hard luck. Now, go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
No, James, define for us the Hard Luck Award. There's two players. We have four guys on the screen. We split this decision here, guys.
I mean, the hard luck is pretty self-explanatory. Just, was poised to have a great year. It didn't happen. In this instance, both of these gentlemen were due to injury. The two finalists, CJ Uzomah, who we lost in the Cleveland game, had a great start, touchdown reception. A friend of the show was on the show earlier in the year. And, of course, Joe Burrow, who I mentioned, who we would have thought would have won the Rookie of the Year, Offensive MVP, you name it. And unfortunately, we saw him go down in Washington. So this is your time. We want you, the fans, to break our gridlock tie here between the four stooges here.
Yeah, so I lean towards Uzomah. Partially because we had the poor guy on the show. He was so excited for the season, and then we literally watched him get carted off in the first game?
Second
game in Cleveland.
Thursday night.
I don't think I won't speak for you guys, but I unfortunately wasn't surprised to see Burrow have some hard luck with the offensive line that was in charge of protecting him. So this is why I lean towards Uzomah, especially having him on the show and seeing just how freaking excited he was. My heart sank when I watched him cart out the field because, again, we had him on the show and just hearing just how pumped up he was and excited for the future and excited for the season.
And how hard he worked in the offseason. What's crazy, if you're Jamie, I'm gonna make sure I understand it. So on Facebook, if they're on Facebook right now viewing us, they only see the Facebook feed, right? The chat feed on Facebook. And we
on the screen, yeah.
Yeah, and we see everything combined. And it looks like you guys are just as split as us on this thing right now.
It's pretty split. We got some Burrows, we got some CJs, Burrow, CJ, Burrow, CJ.
You got a house divided there with Luke and his other half.
Tiffany says wouldn't mind keeping it a tie.
Yeah, we might have to be. Let's go on to the next one, but this may have to be a tie. Just to let you know, I scheduled post about all these things at 9:00. Every minute from 9:00 on, people are seeing this stuff right now on our social media platforms. But we're doing it live right now. Come on.
All right, Jimmy, why don't you go defensive MVP?
Oh man, go ahead and put him up there, man. This dude right here was completely robbed of a Pro Bowl appearance. The best safety in the NFL. Total popularity contest. Jessie Bates, big dog, you were the man. You should be starting in that Pro Bowl. You're the best safety in the NFL. This guy was rated as one of the best, the absolute best safeties by Pro Football Focus statistically, week in and week out, and finished the season that way as well. Dude, I mean, when we're talking about all of our young, exciting players and people are down on this team, guys, we have a great foundation. We get some guys back healthy and build and have a good free agency and nail a draft. Guys, we're back in the playoffs next year, guys. I'm excited. Jessie Bates is one of those reasons, guys.
Second round's been good to us. There's another, we talked about T in the second round, Jessie Bates, another second round pick out of Wake Forest, I believe. So hopefully we can carry that over here in 2021 draft. Tom?
Hey, just to let you know real quick before we get Tom's comment on Jessie, your vote for CJ or Joe counts once, no matter how many times you posted in the chat area, Craig Johnson.
That's pretty good. That's good. With Jessie Bates, from a historical standpoint, you look at the great Tommy Casanova from back in the 70s and all he brought to the Bengals. and the Pro Bowl and the All Pro. And then you had David Fulcher, to a degree, redefining the safety position in the 80s and becoming one of the dominant defensive players in the NFL. Jessie Bates has every bit the talent and the drive to be the best Bengal safety of all time. If fixing the coaching staff to the best that they can, they got off to a great start with Frank Pollock, doing well in free agency again, knocking it out of the park at the draft. That's the first part of the offseason. Before camp ends, they've got to extend Jessie Bates. He's special.
Yep. Agree.
Just to let you guys know, our software actually asked me if I wanted to kick Craig from the chat for flooding. Craig, I didn't kick you.
Put him in timeout. Put him in timeout, Jamie.
All right, who wants to run with the best moment? The Jimmie for the best moment.
Jimmie's gonna do that. And my vote didn't make it, but Sleuth Jimmie with his iPhone up on the bridge, first practice of the year, getting the first ever Joe Burrow pass. That's what I voted for, but I got overruled.
Yeah, I got in a little trouble for that one. So yeah, I did get the first pass from Joe Burrow to AJ Green in practice. It was pretty exciting. Yeah. But the best moment. Now we had a bunch of stuff on the list here, guys, right? Joe Burrow's first touchdown, that rushing touchdown against the Chargers. All these different things. His touchdown to CJ up in Cleveland was awesome. He threw 60-something. All these different things that happened. But guys, we all unanimously voted on the Monday Night Football game against those dreaded Pittsburgh Steelers, the absolute butt whooping that destroyed this Pittsburgh Steelers season. Cleveland should be thanking us that they thumped the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they were never the same after that thumping on Monday night here at Paul Brown Stadium. So to us for the best moment in the 2020 season, during the season, was absolutely the Monday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys.
And go ahead, Jamie.
Well, I was going to say, the only thing that I regret, because I know me and James are on the same page with Zach Taylor, I said at the start of the season, I don't care if Zach loses every freaking game, as long as we beat the Steelers. He can stay.
And along those lines, we've struggled in primetime. It's no secret. So to win like we did, without our starter, the Ginger Genius Part 2, Ryan Finley, leading us on Monday night, that's big. I mean, it kind of, hopefully we got that primetime monkey off our back, and yeah, that was an exciting night. What do you think, Tom?
It certainly put an exclamation point on the Steelers' free fall, but it also showed, this is a team with heart. I really think it cemented Zach coming back, because they played so hard. They played with such heart the whole game, and they bullied the Steelers. And, it's hopefully that game will be, as we go forward in a couple of years talking about a Super Bowl team and next year a playoff team, I think that's the game we're going to point to and say that's where the ship started to get righted.
Yep.
Rigo said he almost cried. Dude, I cried, brother. That was awesome. Like, we beat the Steelers in prime time. It was awesome.
Now we want another Monday night game next year, please, NFL. If Jimmy doesn't piss him off, we'll maybe get another one.
Speaking of the Steelers, I'm sure you guys watched with glee that they lost the game. I don't think Ben's coming back. Did you guys see the end? See the end when they showed him on that? He looked like he just saw.
I don't want to talk about that clown.
He ain't coming back. It's over. That era is over.
You know what the bad thing is about the Steelers losing? They lost to the Browns.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. Great moment. The absolute number one moment in 2020. Bengals winning a Monday Night Football here at Paul Brown Stadium.
Yes. What do we got left, Jamie?
We have left our People's Champ.
People's Champ. I've been waiting all night.
I don't think we're gonna get a lot of people agreeing with us on this, but I don't care.
Hey, well, I can tell you who's not going to win it. My buddy Zach Taylor, my buddy Lou, nor my buddy Jim Turner. So the People's Champ, is a fan favorite. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I'm just going to hold this up here, and the 2020 Jimmie for the People's Champ goes to the one and only Fat Randy.
And I wish we would have found a better picture of the pout, the little belly sticking out a little bit more. He's kind of sucking it in right there, James.
Yeah, that's not a good representation of our man who
yeah, Dalton like with his exact Dalton did some outstanding work to make him look good, man. Dalton went out of his way. Look, man, I'm telling you, man, if somebody didn't hire this guy right here.
Tuck.
Yeah. Dalton did some work on Fat Randy's tummy there, but we joke about Fat Randy, but I'm telling you, legitimately, we love Fat. We love Fat Randy.
He's a fan favorite. Who doesn't? Who disagrees with my vote? Feel free to type it in the chat. But
be Andy Dalton. He just rubbed the one out.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I don't know, man.
That's just
we're not fat.
Great.
We're not fat shaming. We're just saying Fat Randy.
So thank you to Dalton for that wonderful artwork. Jimmy's crying, having to give up all those hats that he's going to have to autograph and present to the Bengals players. And yeah, first ever, the inaugural Jimmy's, and look forward to next year for round 2.
All right, we got you're getting some heat in the chat here for the Fat Randy vote. We're getting
put on a practice squad. Old Darren Simmons just gave him a couple games off.
He did.
Buddy Anthony saying, "What the hell, man?"
Now, see, Tony, I didn't say MVP. I said people's champ. The word MVP never came out of my mouth.
Justin says people's champ should be Von Bell.
Dude, we messed this up, James. We messed this up.
Keep it coming. Let's go. Let's hear this feedback. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Get big shoulders.
We got Carmen says agree. Fat Randy.
See?
Yes, there you go.
As she's floating around the Caribbean somewhere. God bless her. I'm so jealous.
Oh man.
So,
yeah. See. Look, man. Look, hey, we had fun. We were literally going to make this an annual award. So this stuff had just got. I scheduled this stuff about 4:00. The schedule's posting at 9, 9:01, 9:02, 9:03, and we tagged all the players in it. So I'm sure they're going to be sending us messages waiting for this damn award. We're going to have to go down to Paul Brown Stadium and hand them this
with
Jimmie.
our mask on. Yeah, it's going to be big.
Fat Randy?
Huh?
You tagged Fat Randy?
I tagged every player that we just talked about.
Yeah,
a friend of Randy. He's a friend of the show. He won't come on the show, but he's a friend of the show.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, Tom. He has some issue with Tom. I don't know. Fat Randy doesn't like Tom for some reason.
I'm all for Fat Randy till he started missing.
Oh, he missed one field goal.
Can I stick up for James real quick?
Oh, Jesus.
Never, ever, ever has MVP and Randy Bullock been in the same sentence James has spoken. Whether it be texting, emailing, or on the show.
But Tom, let's be real. He insinuated that he was the MVP. He didn't say it, but you could kind of tell the way he was talking about it.
I'm going to shock everybody. James doesn't even like Randy.
It's like saying the name Fat Randy. That's it.
What's funnier than hell, the stadium is being empty this year, and every game we went to, either home game or away, we sat right next to the Bengals tunnel. And every time he came out, even in Miami, we were down in Miami with James and Houston, we were yelling Fat Randy. He would just look out of the corner of his eyes like it's that same damn voice as I hear every game.
So trying to get down to the warm Miami, away from those chants and tears.
I think those T-shirts are going to be collector items because I think we're going to have a new kicker next year.
Yeah, you're probably right.
See, we got to get every last ounce of Fat Randy jokes and love we can out of it. So thank you again, Dalton. We appreciate that. It's pretty.
Dear the man, we did not ask Dalton to do that. He went out of his way and did this. We really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. This will be something we do on a regular basis, on an annual basis. The inaugural Jimmy's just went out. We appreciate it, and the players are very excited. They're going to go and they're going to be talking about this tomorrow during their press conferences.
Jessie Bates gets snubbed by the NFL. He does not get snubbed by us.
Yep, we're for real.